What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes, and we're here with a little tip video today. Nothing crazy, just gonna go over some market tips for MT, XP, etc. So obviously, on your quest to Stephen Curry, I'm only a level 26. Like, I have not been doing a great job with my XP as of lately, but we're gonna go over some ways to actually get up higher. So first things first, obviously the daily missions are up right now. Sparkle, win an auction for an Emerald player, which, I mean, honestly, that's kind of going to be a pain in the ass because everyone's going to be trying to do this. So I would wait till about the literal last hour or two that's left in this one to actually do it. It'll save you a lot of MT. If you actually go and try to do it now, you're going to end up overpaying for a bunch of stupid-ass Emerald players. But if you wait for, like, let's say the last 3-4 hours of it, you should actually have a better chance. Not really anyone's going to be bidding on Emeralds at that point except snipers. So score 10 points with any player from the Lakers. Pretty simple. You can pretty do that with anybody. I haven't even done it yet. Win a game of Unlimited. Easy peasy. You can get about 350 XP for just doing these dailies. So I want to talk about the moments ones. Make 2 threes with Jimmy Butler in a triple threat offline game. That's going to be very difficult because triple threat offline is completely fucking broken at this point. Score 10 points in the paint in an unlimited game. That actually you'll be able to do pretty easily because driving is completely OP. That's going to be one that shouldn't be too difficult for you to do. 2 blocks with Bam Adebayo. Easy. Once again, just go do a challenge game and camp with him under the rim. You'll probably end up being able to do that. 40 points with Jamal Murray in a single player challenge. Doable, but, you know, a little iffy. The Nikola Jokic triple-double moments challenge is going to be kind of a pain in the ass, so I don't know what to do there. I haven't even done this yet. Earn 10 assists with any player from the 20 Hawks in Unlimited game, just because I try to win, and if I sit there and try to do that with a Hawks player, like, I'm going to end up losing. Trailblazers domination, I've literally just been lazy. I just haven't played domination, so... playoff stoppers, I've gone over that in my previous video, so we're going to go back-to-back challenges. The first 4 here, you're going to have to actually win the single-player challenges, which is pretty difficult, especially when you get up to the 2018 Warriors. I don't know. I don't recommend using Michael Thompson in any triple threat online game, but you'll probably run into him pretty frequently over the next couple days. So you can get some easy wins with guys who are trying to get that challenge done. Make 3 layups in a triple threat online game with Iguodala. Very easy one to do. That's probably the one I recommend tackling if you're going to do any of these, like, first. 40 assists with Andre Iguodala sounds pretty daunting, but just keep putting him in lineups and eventually you'll get there. It's pretty easy. 10 assists in a single game with back-to-back Kenny Smith. Sounds, once again, daunting, but realistically just play like a pro-level challenge game or something of that nature, and you should be able to do that just because you do hit a lot of shots. Same with 30 points and back-to-back Bailey Howell. Good stuff. 22 rebounds with Lamar Odom if you do have Lamar Odom. That actually just keep playing triple threat online or offline games and you should be able to get that. Same with 200 points, eventually you'll get it. 12 assists with Isaiah Thomas in a single game. Once again, if you play like a low-level game, you should be good. That being said, if you're not locking in for Dennis Rodman, which, to be honest with you, 20 steal, or, yeah, 15 points in a triple threat online game, which is doable. You'll probably lose, though. If you're not locking in for him, just finish the guy's challenges and sell them because their value is going to be super high right now for no reason. I've talked about these before. The triple threat challenges. Look, a lot of the reason that I'm only at level 26 right now and I'm not higher is because I spent so much time trying to do these, and they're so fucking difficult for 175 XP. Look, if you can get them done, the only one I recommend doing is Knicks, and the reason for that is because you do advance to the week 2 practice as opposed to the week 2 pickup with it. So you end up getting 350, so it's a little bit worth it. But I would save those, honestly, till last, just because they're not going to be going anywhere. They're always going to be here, so eventually you can get them done. Maybe wait until they nerf, because they're going to nerf TTO at some point because everyone's really upset about it, so I would wait till that. Obviously, finishing all the back-to-back challenges, which I'll talk about in a second. We got a new Pacific Division triple threat. This one's probably going to be a little bit easier just because the teams here are a lot better, but they're still tough, man. Triple threat is a really hard game mode right now. just because the CPU will shoot like 80%. You cannot play defense whatsoever, so you basically have to play perfect. You have to score every possession, and it also helps to have the ball first. They will miss occasionally, but that's about it. All these guys, these are actually interesting. I haven't done any of them just because I haven't had time to really mess around with it, but a lot of these are kind of hard, like 8 dunks with Blake Griffin. It sounds like it should be easy, but it's not. Then we'll go down to the rewards once we got Sapphire reward market guys. Unfortunately, they basically threw guys who not a lot of people locked in for, like Spud Webb and Rubio and Derek Favors and Ryan Hollins. Ryan Hollins has actually got a pretty decent block, and he's actually an okay center, so he shouldn't be too hard to get that done with. It's just going to take some time. You're going to have to run a lot of Ryan Hollins at center. Deshaun Stevenson, that one should be pretty easy. Just drive the hole. He has a decent draw foul. So Derek Favors, just throw a bunch of oops to him. He'll get it done. 65 assists is a lot of assists at this stage, but just play rookie level games, pro level games, and you should be fine. If you want to throw a way to do these pretty easily without having to play against stupidly ridiculous overpowered teams, just go play 1-star difficulty domination. I know it's kind of a pain in the ass, but it is going to actually get you to that point pretty easily. So you can dish a lot of assists that way. 15 steals. Steals are always hard ones, man. They really are. They didn't add anything to lifetime agendas or anything, so there's no point there. So let's talk about the challenges, because the challenges are awful. There's the weekly challenges here. These aren't too terrible. I want to say they're on All-Star. Yeah, All-Star's doable, so they're not terrible. These are awful, though. First two, relatively easy. The Heat is actually pretty easy, too, basically just because they don't have the full Heat roster, so you should be able to cruise through that pretty easily. All right, this is the one I want to talk about specifically, though, because the amount of YouTube videos of, larger YouTubers that are going to talk about these challenges, and they're just going to be like, oh, yeah, these are easy. I beasted through these. Yeah, I beasted this. Yeah. I mean, whatever. This one was like kind of hard, I guess. And then this one was easy. And that's about as much as they're going to say about this shit. No. 2018 Warriors is a fucking difficult challenge, man. Like, yeah, dude, you might get lucky and beat it occasionally, but I'm not even kidding you. I've played against this team 4 times. I've lost all 4 legitimately on last second shots. And they legit shoot 80% from the field. There's no way to stop them whatsoever. Your CPU will just leave Kevin Durant wide open in the corner constantly. So unless you're off-balling and guarding him, he's just going to hit threes, and then they'll leave Draymond open right on the other side too, which is absolutely ridiculous. But, I mean, you can beat him. I've just not been playing great, I think, but I did a whole video on it. I mean, it's going to be tough. I honestly believe that back-to-back, like the actual challenge against the back-to-back players, is going to be easier than this 2018 Warriors one. Like, I truly believe that. I think you have to get like 8 dunks or something, which it's kind of tough. But then there's the moments challenges. These are actually really good to get your stuff done. Any of the assist challenges, scoring challenges, stuff like that, because they're all on pro difficulty. You just have to drop 50 points with one certain player, so obviously getting assist challenges should be a lot easier that way. They're not tough. This one's going to be a pain in the ass. Getting a triple-double in 2K is hard enough as it is, especially in this year, so the rest of them are just scoring. I thought this was going to be, when I first saw this one, I thought they were going to do what MLB The Show does, where they'll have like situational challenges, like you'll jump in the challenge and it'll be like, or even what 2K has done in the past, where you'll jump in and it'll be like, okay, you have to hit the game-winning shot with Luka. So it's like a challenge that'll net you 300 MT that'll take 30 seconds to a minute. That's actually really cool, and I wish they would have done it like that. They used to do it like that back in the other older 2Ks, and MLB The Show, and I don't know if Madden does it, but that's something that I wish they would do instead of just putting up a game that you have to play and they're like, oh yeah, score 43 points. Like, bro, that's not what it is. Now, as far as TTO goes, like, Triple Threat online and offline are still some of the best ways to get MT, but at the same time, I recommend just not playing Triple Threat online or offline at this point, just because, look, maybe it's just me, but since the shooting hotfix, it has been so difficult to win games in Triple Threat. Like, the CPU doesn't fucking miss, like, ever. 90% of the time, they'll match you up with a team that's, like, perfectly acclimated to like stop whatever team you have. You can't blow by people anywhere near as easy as you could before. Even like guys like Bobby Jackson are having trouble blowing by the CPU defense, so that's not like a good sign. And then with the new shooting, it's really difficult to shoot unless you really know what you're doing, which honestly, with the way the CPU plays, if you miss like 2 shots, you're fucked. Like, they're going to score a majority of the time. There's no way to really defend it. So I would say stay away from that. It's kind of fucked up this year that the only 2 game modes that are like even remotely playable are limited and unlimited. Like, domination's really difficult. It's beatable for sure, but it's difficult. If you want to play like actual basketball, it's hard instead of just cheesing the CPU. So, and both TTOs are hard. So we'll talk about market now. And the reason I want to talk about market is there is the opportunity to get some guys for pretty cheap. So some guys that I would target right off the bat, Rip Hamilton is absolutely incredible. I promise he is. He is absurdly good, and you can get him for around 5-6K, even cheaper. He has 23 gold badges, which is about as much. It's more than, is that more than Allen Houston? Yeah, he has more gold badges than Allen Houston. He has catch and shoot, difficult shots, teardropper, bailout, deadeye, and most importantly, he has gold flexible release, gold green machine, gold hot zone hunter, gold steady, which if you shoot a lot of like runners like I do, steady is super fucking important. And tireless shooter and volume shooter. So he's absolutely incredible. And the fact that he's that low, I know like a lot of people will tell you that Ray Allen's better, but if you look, Ray Allen's way more expensive than Rip Hamilton, and he has 9 gold badges. He does have a better jump shot, so if you rely on jump shot timing, Ray Allen's a better option. But if you shoot with the stick, my man Rip Hamilton is incredible. That being said, if you have these 2 guys, unless you locked in for Jerry West, which honestly I regret doing, but I had to for the video, selling these guys is a really imperative idea. Like, I'm not even kidding. You can get 80 to 100K. Their value will never be that high. Realistically, you could sell Kobe and MJ for 100K, well, about 90K plus, realistically. And I'm not even kidding. In 2 or 3 weeks, you'll be able to go buy them for like 10K, like maybe 20. But I'm not even joking. Like, that's how 2K always goes. So now, if you're not locking in for Jerry West, sell them now because they're not even really that good, truly. Kareem's the same way. Kareem's a pretty decent center, but he doesn't do things at a much better rate than like Rick Smits does. So selling him now for 50K, probably a good call because you're going to be able to go get him for like 10K next week. The back-to-back guys, Bailey Howell is incredible. I don't recommend selling him. He's really good. Kenny Smith is a nice budget guy. Andre Iguodala is meh. Lamar Odom is not that good. If you have Lamar Odom, just ship him off, to be honest with you. Now we'll talk about the season tip-off guys because these kind of get forgotten a lot, but they're harder to get. Derrick Rose, look, I've watched so many like rankings and tier lists and shit from other Myteam YouTubers, and the disrespect for Derrick Rose is absurd. Look, I'm not gonna lie, he can't shoot. But guess what? We're playing NBA 2K21. They change the shooting every 3 days. Having a guy that you can consistently rely on to get points because he is literally unstoppable at attacking the rim is imperative. You equip him with some defensive badges to help his defense out, and all of a sudden, you'll have a guy that you can constantly rely on. I mean, yes, once we get to a point in the game where shooting is valued above all like it was in 2K20, then yeah, he's not going to be too great. But at the same time, we're not there, and it doesn't look like we're going to get there for quite some time. Same with Rick Smits. Rick Smits is absolutely incredible. 9,000, absolutely worth it. He does everything Kareem does. He's got 17 gold badges, but better. To be honest with you, he's bigger. He's not as fast, but he can shoot the midi better. Stuff like that. I've talked about Mitch Richmond enough. Like, playoff stoppers, all these cards are garbage. I don't care what anyone says. Ben Wallace sucks. Dennis Johnson sucks. Gary Payton's not that good. Tony Allen's atrocious. Doug Christie, some people like him, some people don't. But that being said, obviously, keep up on these challenges, because even if you don't want to do one of the challenges, if you have one of those players, go put them up, because they're always going to be significantly more expensive for that 24 hours that they involve a challenge. So, with that being said, I hope this helped you even a little bit. I want everybody to go get Curry. At one point, I was very high up. Like, I was at like 22, and I saw like most people, even on YouTube, were at like 18, 19. And then I slowed down a lot, so that kind of sucks. But, you know, it's going to be a long haul. 125,000 XP needed. We got about 28 days until that happens. I'm assuming by 2 weeks. I would say 2 weeks from now, you're going to see, guys, you know, there's going to be like 6 videos that come up at once that say world's first Stephen Curry, but they're not because, you know, they all came up at like the same time. So watch those videos. I'm sure he's going to be incredible, but at the same fucking time, you can't shoot in this game at this point. I don't know what they're going to do about that. I'm assuming we're going to get a new hotfix. I believe that this year we're going to get hotfixes like once a week because they're just beta testing for the next gen at this point. So anyways, guys, please drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate every one of you, and I'll be back with new content later today and literally every other day from this point forward. So peace out.